Hello everyone, welcome. Well, it's a bit of a Q&A session this afternoon to check in how you're doing, check in how you're spending your funds, getting on with your quality improvement project, your mentor, etc. But really want to hear from you any questions, because what you ask is probably really, very relevant to everybody else. And obviously we're recording today, so those of you that are joining us after the event, I hope you're all well and getting on well. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop us a message in the mailbox and we can arrange catch-ups if needed. So I'm Lucy Brown. I think you all know me, don't you? Don't need to introduce. I'm the Director of Nursing and Midwifery Leadership Development, a long title at Florence Nightingale Foundation. And I was a scholar a few years ago like you, so it's so great to touch base with you, check in and see how you're getting on. And a few of you I've been in contact with already. But it's a real pleasure to kind of look and check in on you and look after you all and make sure you're getting the most out of your scholarships. So just a quick update for you. We've already booked in your conference for next year, I know. It'll be the 12th of October 2023. We haven't even delivered this year's programme. So at this conference, which is 2 weeks, we're busy in the background getting ready for last year's Scholar Conference. And this will be a great celebration event for you to really celebrate and graduate from your scholarship with your fellow scholars. It's a really lovely event. And this year we've got all 5 CNOs sending a message to all, some in person. So Ruth joining us in person and Sue Tranker as well. So it's a really great celebration event. We have keynote speakers. And actually what's brilliant is what we've had feedback from previous conferences is that you get a chance to present your quality improvement projects to your cohort. So you'll all be presenting to each other, your cohort as well. So that's the first year we've done this year. Everybody gets the opportunity to do it. Well, here's Angela. Hello, Angela. Thanks for joining us. So I guess a few things. I know some of you already been to your RADA days or just about to go. It's really great to hear how you got on with those and how you've got on with the King's Fund and whether you've checked in with your mentors as well. And a big encouragement for me is to make sure that you use your funds and start booking your courses. Now, it doesn't matter if you're going to book the course in for a year's time, but really want you to make sure you're spending your funds in that scholarship year, if that's okay. So please do send us the invoice. We can pay it on your behalf. We don't expect you to be able to book it. Please do make sure you book that in as well. Great. So I think I'm going to stop talking now because I really want to hear from all of you. So what questions do you have? Please do ask. We're here to help and support. Hey, you look like you're eager to ask something, but I don't know if I'm picking up on the wrong body language there.
No, I don't necessarily think there's anything. I did have a conversation when we have our little catch-ups, and everyone says, well, make the most of the opportunity. Then I'm kind of panicking, thinking, well, the time's ticking on, and I don't know what that necessarily means. Make the most of the opportunities. I suppose I've done a few things where I've kind of used it to tap into people that I wouldn't normally do.
Brilliant, that's great. Yeah.
So I've kind of sort of explained this is what I've got, and this is kind of where I'm going, and any shadowing opportunities, that kind of thing. I've done that kind of stuff, but some other examples of how to kind of utilize the opportunity would be really useful.
Great. So your mentors are a really good place to start. So if you share your personal assessment you've had done with the King's Fund with them, if you're happy in your development plan, have a think about what areas you really want to develop to help you meet that brief. Speak to your mentor who can introduce you to a broad range of people who can support you. We can at the foundation as well, if there's a specific area you want to focus on. Have you all spent time with your chief execs? Have you all been bold and knocked on that door? You have? Or some nods, good. If you haven't, that should be on your to-do list. Now go and tell them about your scholarship, about your project, what you're working on, what you hope to achieve and how they can help you progress that. And think about your next career move, what's next for you? How can they open some doors for you there? That would be, I remember my assessment, someone said go and spend time with your chief exec, and I remember being absolutely petrified at the thought, and actually it was fine. I remember I got 15 minutes with him and I ended up having 45 because he wanted to hear more about what I was doing. So be bold. I remember I was nervous. Prep before you go in. So prep what you're going to ask. You tell him. Someone said to me, tell them 3 things about yourself. 3 things you want them to know. You want them to leave them knowing about you. So prep that and maybe practice in the mirror. If you've done RADA yet, use some of the RADA tips. And just go along and really present yourself well. It's a really good skill, really good skill. So that's probably my tip for me. I use the foundation network as well to spend some time with the regional chief nurses to understand what their priorities are. And it'd be really good maybe to spend some time with your ICB chief nurse as well, if you work within that environment, or you work in the independent sector, the equivalent as well. Yeah, Does that sound good? Go and sit on the board, go and ask, be bold and sit on the board and observe as well. That's what I would suggest. Look at the key priorities. And is there anywhere is there someone that you really admire as well? That's somebody, if there's someone you admire their leadership style, you want to spend time with them, shadowing them, go to some meetings or accompany some conferences, do that as well. Is that good for starters, Claire? Good, good, okay. But what I would say as well to get the most is align it to your personal development plan as well. You know, what areas do you really want to get better at and develop further? And RADA will help with that too as well. Is that helpful for all of you guys? Yeah, nods around the room. Okay, let's bring this up. And Angela, welcome. I don't know if you can pop your camera on so we can see you. It'd be lovely if we could.
Hi, I'm sorry, I'm struggling at the moment because I'm just I'm on a phone, so I can't really see.
Oh, don't worry. We just thought it'd be nice to see, but as long as you can hear us and it's useful, that's grand. Is that how?
No, it's that.
Oh, good.
That's really useful. That what you were just saying then about meeting with the chief exec. We've got a new chief nurse starting within the next week or so. So that'd be really good to go and meet her as well.
Excellent. That's really good. Well done. That's great. Good. Have you all managed to meet with your mentors? Yeah, there's no time for, you know, you don't have to meet with them a certain amount of times. I think it's, well, the minimum is, I think, 3 times through the scholarship, but you can meet with them more often as well. Spend some time getting to them as well. And they have been matched you kind of according to your projects or your roles as well. So it should be helpful. And they should open up their networks as well, help progress you. How are you feeling about the funds? Have you started to think about what you want to spend your personal budget on? Yeah, Hannah, are you happy to share?
I'm going to Texas.
Oh, you're going to? Oh,
I'm going to Texas.
I mean, conference.
Lucy, I don't travel more than an hour from where I live, ever. I am not safe, definitely not safe to go anywhere unsupervised, and I'm going to Texas. So I'm making the most of that. I'm going to go to a proton unit. I'm going to a TYA and paediatric unit, doing some scoping work at 2 hospitals there, all of things that I would absolutely never get a chance to do normally. So I feel like I'm definitely making the most of it. And I'm also a little bit anxious, but it's going to be fine.
You're going to be amazing. Turn that anxiety into excitement. It's the same emotion, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I've planned another holiday beforehand by myself with my youngest daughter, thinking that if I can do that and not mischief her, then I can definitely make it to get supervised.
Oh, Hannah, that's awesome.
So I'm really excited.
When do you go?
The 2nd week in November.
Wow.
Been amazing. I think my biggest thing that I'm finding really challenging, but I am trying very much to harness it, and obviously I'm inspired by you, Constance, is to get something published. The prospect of having something published it's just not my thing. I just feel like it's what other people do and definitely not what I do. So I have done a couple of sessions with Joss from Plymouth Uni, who is really helpful, that Kate kind of got us plugged into. So yeah, I'm hoping to kind of move that along. Yeah, and she is lush. She is the absolute best person to have as your mentor. Definitely.
If you ever want me to help, given that we're both in cancer, just shout. I'm very happy to proofread anything. No, anytime. It's not as scary as you think.
It essentially looks like I'm telling a story of nothingness, quite frankly.
No, I think it's really not as scary as you think. I mean, just get something on paper. I mean, this is me saying, and I've been procrastinating around publishing my dissertation for 2 years, but yeah, just get something on paper, and they proofread it so much and they edit it so much that actually they do a lot of that work. It's just the actual getting it down on paper. But yeah, happy to help if I can help with my very limited knowledge.
No, but you are published, and that's the point, isn't it? You are published, and I am most certainly not. So
happy to help.
Thank you.
The first step, as well as a lot of our this year's scholars have actually written some blogs on their experience, so their leadership journey, which have been published to the RCNI. So that's quite a nice place to start because it's your personal account. So if you're feeling worried about it, it's a good first step.
Yeah.
And people want to hear from you as well.
Oh, I don't know about that, but still.
They do. They certainly do. I promise. Hi, Jackie and Sam. I think you just joined us as well. Don't worry about being late. We've recorded it, so don't worry at all. So it's kind of a drop-in Q&A session, so don't worry at all. And I can go through the things I've already gone through. That's no problem. Hannah's got a hand up. Over to you, Hannah.
I just wanted to ask you, Constance and Hannah, how are you deciding where to publish? Like which journal did you decide? So something's really weird with my camera. It's completely, I don't know if you guys can all just see my face just keeps freezing, but I might have to turn it off because it's really annoying me. But hopefully you can hear me. But yeah, how did you decide where to publish?
So Josh said to me to start really basic. He said, choose the most basic kind of publication you can think of to build your confidence. So I'm going straight into really boring Nursing Times. There's a really, really simple kind of process that you can follow. And then maybe I'll aspire to be more like Constance once I've done that.
I was asked to write it, so that's a bit of a cheat. But I don't know what specialty you're in, Hannah, but if you're thinking oncology, then the British Journal of Nursing does an oncology supplement every quarter. And I know the editor, so if you need a hand in there, then I'm very happy to help. But I don't know if you're oncology. Otherwise, what Lucy suggested, the RCNI are really, really good. And I can recommend them off personal because we're writing something about leadership for them. So they've been really helpful. I think everything's quite open. Go, as Hannah said, like, I think you'll be surprised actually. Start small. Maybe don't go for like, I don't know, the British Medical Journal or something.
Why not? Sounds good.
Or not. Why not?
Thank you.
Stuff. That's great. And the Nursing Standard as well. We've got quite a close link to the Nursing Times and the Standard, and they come to our conference every year as well. So they want to hear from you. So reach out to them. Reach out to them if they want to hear from you. Brilliant. Great. Any other questions? How are you getting on with your projects? Making progress? Yeah, good. Some nods. And don't worry if you're not, it's okay too. We all have barriers and challenges and stumbling blocks, so that's okay. But I think the key thing is kind of looking at the outcomes and what you want to achieve and how you can get others to help you to achieve that as well.
Is there a deadline, Lucy, for the abstracts?
Yes, that should be in the, so Caroline, isn't that in the program's specification?
Yeah, so the scholarship runs to March. So your deadline is March next year, unless otherwise agreed. But for now, it's March 2023.
Just in case you're in contact with any previous scholars, because of COVID, we had to extend it quite a bit, and that's potential. If there's pressures that we have to look at individual case by case basis for extensions as well. So what we're looking for is really, what the outcomes of your project, what you've managed to achieve, and we try and make it as straightforward as possible. So, Dawn. Hi.
Hi, Lucy. So I was going to talk about my project only in the respect that I've done quite a bit of work for it, and my project was going to be around, so I'm a midwife, Lucy. I'm the odd one out here, but I was looking at what good looks like for midwives to dovetail with what good looks like for nursing, and then it kind of snowballed and became this really huge thing, working with the What Good Looks Like parent team, and then they wanted funding, and the program I work for, we're going to fund it, and then suddenly it's been closed down. So the program itself is closed down, the staff have all been scattered, and I'm literally back at square one. So yeah, so there's a little bit of a delay.
Who have you been working with on that? Who's been the lead on the project?
So my program is the Digital Child Health and Maternity Program. That's been closed down. I've been working with Holly Carr, and sort of dabbled a little bit with Will Goodwin, who's part of the parent team for the What Good Looks Like framework. So that's all basically gone by the wayside now. So what I'm now looking at is trying to standardize the job description for the digital specialist, because I'm, obviously I can't speak for the nurses, but I know within midwifery we have got digital midwives that are working across more than one camp as a band 6 leading this project, and then we've got band 7s and band 8s doing exactly the same job, and it just seems inequitable. So that's my next project, try and improve quality for staff, and fairness, really. So I'm a little
bit lost. So Dawn, who's your mentor? Do you mind me asking?
My mentor's Felipe. Felipe
Castro Cordano.
Yeah. So I have met him once, and I've emailed him. We're trying to set up a meeting, so I've told him, you know, I've got this second plan up my sleeve. And Felipe works in what's it called? He's a senior midwife. He does staff management,
workforce development.
Yeah, he will have a lot of contacts. So will be able to help me with my new project.
Yeah. So Jules Goodrum might be a good person to start with, because Jules
is who I work with full time. So because I've got a fellowship.
You've got a fellowship, excellent. So she'll be able to help. Yep. The other person, do you know, have you met Jess Reed yet?
Yeah, I've done a small project of work for Jess, so I've already earned brownie points with her.
Jess was in my scholarship group, my cohort. Yeah. So Jess is a great person and a huge advocate and support for Foundation. So I'd reach out to her, talk to her about your challenges, be open and honest.
Yeah. It's workforce planning that Felipe leads on.
He used to lead on the international recruitment, so I worked with him quite a bit, and then he's been promoted. So it's great. So I would link in. But you speak to people, share your challenges, and it will open doors. So
watch this space.
Brilliant, Dawn. That's really great to hear. And actually, we all have setbacks, and it's how you tackle them, isn't it, and overcome them. So that's really great to hear. Thanks for sharing. Thank you. And exciting, you're on a year-long fellowship as well. Amazing. Great. Thank you. Thanks for sharing about your project as well. Any other questions for anyone else? For those that have started, hold the date in your diary. The 12th of October 2023 is a conference, a scholar conference graduation ceremony, which is really exciting. Hold the date, and that'll be at our offices at the Royal College as well. Just to make you aware. Hello, Dave. We've recorded today, so don't worry if you've missed anything. You can watch it back, and so we can go through. But it's just a nice Q&A session this afternoon, just to check in on how you're all doing, how we can help you, how we can support you, and just any feedback you want to share, really. Have you all had your, we call it your residential, the King's Fund? How's that gone for you all? Yeah? Good session? Yeah, I spoke to Mark this morning, actually, Mark Patterson. He said, what an amazing group you've all been. So I said I was speaking to you this afternoon, so you've got on well. Good, okay. Just some feedback just from other groups that we're going to be running it face-to-face next year. So obviously we carried on virtual because of the environment that we've been working in, but actually feedback from other cohorts said it would be really good to do that face-to-face. So you're staying in a hotel, so you can have that real networking and bonding as a group. So,
I think that'd be really beneficial, Lucy, because I think we were saying the other day, the whole thing, like interview, all of that, I've not actually seen anybody. Everything's been virtual, so you kind of almost feel very I don't know, it's really strange. Even the people that you would probably think you might gravitate to, obviously when you're doing the King's Fund, there wasn't that opportunity for that, because you're kind of put into your group, so you weren't able to kind of almost organically develop those relationships. So
together.
Exactly. So to have it face to face, I think would be amazing.
I think it's being dynamic, that you can support people can come from all over the country, so it's accessible to all, but equally it's so important to have that bonding, isn't it, face to face. That's important. RADA, you'll all be together as well, won't you, for 3 days? So have any of you been on RADA yet? Don't do too many spoilers. None of you have yet. Okay, I won't say anything too much. So that's, you'll be together in your smaller groups, but obviously for 3 days. So you're going to have a great time, I'm sure. Just go with an open mind and be prepared to be pushed out of your comfort zones, but you'll grow and develop even more. It's great, Claire, it's great. You don't have to look worried, I promise. I promise. Great. Okay, any other kind of feedback you wanted to share with us? I guess I can go back, those that have joined us later, I can run through this about the beginning session again. I think someone just popped something in the chat. Oh, brilliant. James is there on the 18th of October. Oh, and Hannah as well. There you go. I think most of you, you're split into 2 groups, so it'll be good.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Good stuff. So just a reminder, you've got the conference coming up. Your abstract is due in March. That's in the programme spec. If there are needs for extensions, there can be. I guess my steerage for you for your projects is obviously, if you have to change it, that's okay, but it's easier for you if you can keep it on track. And we understand if you've changed roles and things like that. Interesting enough, I just had a call with some scholars from previous years. We were presenting at a conference together on Thursday, and one of the ladies saying, well, actually I changed jobs, but what was really great is my projects continued, because it was such a good project, has been taken on as part of their strategy within their trust. So, you know, that's that continuity, isn't it, to make sure you've got that impact. So that's really, if you do change roles, think about that, how you can hand that over, because you will all be promoted over the next few months and beyond. So all very exciting. So Jackie, I think I first met you about a year ago, wasn't it, in September, award ceremony. How are things going for you? I hope you don't mind me. Oh,
coming off mute. I've got a bit of a delay. Yeah, sorry I was late. I was in A&E trying to get back. No, it's yeah, I'd a good year. It's a year ago, but the lady that nominated me for the award, she got married this weekend actually. Oh. So it's nice. We have a little keep in touch and a contact, but she's just got married, so she's in a good place, which is really nice, because obviously she was one of the first families that we supported in COVID, so it's nice. And similar probably to others, it's been really busy in work, but I have project-wise managed to keep some momentum going, and we're doing. I'm looking at compassionate communities and working with our community, some of our community organisations, to ensure that people are comfortable and confident to have conversations, important conversations, to make future plans. So we have had some community workshops with some of those charities and voluntary organisations, and we've got some training sessions for them set for November time. So whilst we've had quite a big gap in summer because of holidays and people's holidays, we've managed to keep some progress, but it feels like I've not done anything for a couple of months because of summer.
That's okay. That's okay. Just keep it on your horizon, keep it on your agenda, and have discussions with stakeholders and keep the momentum going. And we're here to help you as well. If you want to have individual conversations or support, just let us know. Like Dawn, thanks for sharing. I think that was really good and insightful to share where you've got to.
But yeah, booked Westminster. I know a few others are going to Westminster at the same. So there's a few of us keeping in. There's a few of us. So Angela is on the call. Her and I work in a similar role. So we've met face to face.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, I was supposed to go to hers today, but work didn't allow me. So I know that's helped because we're both kind of in the same boat. But yeah, so booked Westminster. So.
Great. And you've got your WhatsApp group set up. Is that all okay? Is that you're keeping in contact? And yeah,
it's good.
The nods all around. Good. Okay, good stuff. And have you used so it's the first year we've used the learning management system. So obviously we'd really love your feedback. How are you finding it? I know we've got to add more resources. What would be useful? What would be more helpful? If you haven't logged on, that's okay too. I'm not going to hold it against you, but it'd be good to know if it's useful. And if not, how can we make it useful? Okay, don't worry, I'm not offended if you got used to it.
I've used it, Lucy. I looked it up a couple of weeks ago. I think it's probably just, it would be helpful to have some more of the resources about the learning maybe on there, rather than just the information that we got. It was nice to have the stuff obviously from the induction to remind that, but I don't know, maybe some of the presentations from the people that presented, maybe I missed that. But no, it doesn't seem to have been that well utilised by our cohort. Apologies. No, I think there's like one forum on there.
Don't worry, don't worry at all. Don't worry at all. It's good.
I think it's probably finding the login again. I can't find it off the website. Maybe that's me being stupid, but I did it off the email that we got from maybe I don't know.
So more resources, presentations to be added, for us to post some questions for you on the forum.
Maybe some thought-provoking stuff. Yeah, that's quite a nice idea.
I guess we've got so many other ways of staying in touch.
Yeah, true.
But actually, I guess it's not. I've not been on there at all, to be honest, because it kind of just slipped back in my mind, and I've kind of, because I've not needed it for anything, I guess I've not looked at it. Whereas kind of we've been on WhatsApp or kind of meeting in these kind of ways, it just hasn't naturally kind of yeah, I've just not headed in that direction.
But that's totally fine. That's totally fine. We can take a note. Because we're developing at the moment, so it's really nice to get your feedback. So thank you. Thank you.
I'll just put the password in chat for you all, but do check it now because it has been updated with the brochures of the providers for where you can spend your scholarship funding on.
Are you all happy with the expense process as well? How you claim back your funds? Because Carolina's here and Mel to help. Yeah, you're all done. I found that straightforward. Yes,
I've not done that yet. I've not had to do it yet. I've not spent my money on anything.
Okay.
But I've been busy, so I've been changing roles and things.
Well, congratulations.
As well. So yeah, so mum's secondment only for 12 months. Most people know already, you probably bore them saying the same thing. But yeah, I've just moved into a new role, so I'm just 4 weeks in now. So I'm the Associate Chief Nurse and Information Officer for the South West.
Wow, well done, Sam.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's interesting. It's very different working out of provider, but it's started to come together now. That's good.
Right. Well, lean on your cohort, lean on us. We're all here to help you and make sure you progress really well. So well done.
Thank you. Yeah, so that has a kind of a knock-on effect onto my project as well. But we had another meeting where we were pulled together, and it wasn't until then that I realised that there's quite a lot of overlap between mine and Gordon's project.
Really?
Gordon Elder. So I don't know if it's allowed, but we've started to collaborate. So I'm hoping Gordon doesn't know that we'll do part 1, which is like the framework, digital kind of stuff, which we both had. But I'm hoping if we can collaborate, there may be a little bit more that we could do coming off of that as a secondary stage.
Yeah. Co-author some papers together. There you go.
Yeah, it's quite exciting to get some momentum there.
Well done, you. Great.
Lucy, I was just going to feedback about the online platform thing. So I've used that a few times. What I've found a little frustrating is I've not really known how to spend my money, and I've wanted to discuss it with my mentor, and she's like, "Well, can you send me the details?" I'm like, "It's on the platform. I don't know how to do that." So we're going to have a meeting where I screen share and then go through what's on there, in order for her to be able to see, unless there's obviously another way of doing it. So
there's the presentation pack from the actual welcome day we can share with you. Have we got I'm just thinking where else we can do it.
That should be on there, but at the same time, what you'd have to do from the list, you can just go onto their website and send your mentor the links. So like Bravest Path, they have their own website, so you can send them the link that way rather than sending a full attachment, because that might not go through on email because they're too big.
Or I guess the other thing is to think about, we give you examples of associates to spend your money, but there are other areas you can spend them on as well. So
yeah, we don't have them all listed on there. There are other opportunities. We're trying to add more.
Claire, I'm happy to catch up with you as well if that's helpful. We can go through some courses. I would strongly advise, but it's up to you, is aligning it to your development plan and your assessment is actually so you can develop, because that's the idea, it's your personal budget to spend on your leadership journey. So it's great, Westminster might be right for you, or Windsor might be right for you, or whatever, Bravest Path, whatever it might be, or Cranfield. But actually think about what you really want to get from it, the outcomes you want to achieve, what will propel you to the next level, what will give the confidence to lead and develop further.
And your personal development plan, that comes off of the stuff that we did with the King's Fund, the Myers-Briggs bits. Yeah.
So coming at that, how do you want your communication styles, whatever that might be, areas you want to focus on.
I would agree with Claire about the mentor bit. My mentor wanted quite a lot of information about what we'd received already, and I found it quite difficult to get it off the website. And like screenshotting the bits of, I don't know whether or not they get a pack of what, I don't know, I'm sure they do, but she was just asking like kind of the dates and things like that, and I had to kind of like screenshot the page and send it to her.
This program spec, have we sent that out? Caroline, can we send that out to everybody, the program spec, just for everybody?
Yeah, but the program spec should be on there. I can send that out. Also,
no, it's definitely on there. It's just you can't download it. It's just
okay, we can send you, but the program spec's quite easy to send you. You can forward it on as you need to.
But the dates were all in your offer letters. You could just forward that as well. But yeah, I'll definitely send the program spec around again.
Brilliant, thank you. That's great. Oh, Bethan's joined us. Hi, Bethan. I think people have dropped off. Hi, Bethan, lovely to see you. Thanks for joining. We're recording
really
today.
sorry, I'm so late.
Don't
Just
worry,
a bit of a full-on day. I've been on holiday for 2 weeks. I've just come back today and it's a bit bonkers. So
where have you been?
sorry.
Anywhere nice? let's talk about your
Yes,
holiday.
to Greece. Yeah, I went to Skiathos for 2 weeks. Yeah,
Lovely.
So nice to see everyone anyway.
Lovely to see you too. We've recorded today as well, so if you've missed anything, catch up, or I can stay online and share what I've discussed with the group.
Brilliant.
No problem.
Thank you.
Pleasure, absolute pleasure. Okay, well that's kind of the update from me. Does anyone else want to ask any questions? I can stay on for one-to-one chat, so we can arrange a separate time as well if that's helpful. So yeah, let me know. And I've caught up with some of you kind of separately, which is really nice to, I really value the time with you. So please do book in some time. We are in delivery mode at the moment, so I'm delivering quite a bit, but I'm sure we can find some space in the diary. Okay. Well, it sounds like you're going to connect at RADA. You're going to have such an amazing time. I'm excited for you.
Yeah, just to also mention, we've got we have a mid-scholarship review to be completed, and that will be in November after everybody's done their RADA sessions. So if you could kindly please complete that, that helps us with developments of our programs, etc.
That's your mid-report, so just letting us know how you've got on, what you spent your funds on, basically essentially what we've just gone through together on the call. It shouldn't be too arduous for you to complete. And that goes to our board as well, just so we have to update our board on your progression.